In this episode of The Gay Bear, we're going to be looking at which country in the world can you go and find the biggest male banana. I was really shocked to find this out when I stumbled across this information. When I first found out which country was number one, I couldn't believe it. However, all of this data has been very nicely and neatly compiled on one website where we can go and have a look at the winning country and some of the runners up, and also some of my favorite countries of the world. Maybe we can just do a little bit of fantasy banana shopping. Maybe I'll plan my next vacation based on this information. So, without any further delay, let's jump over to the website and have a look.
Okay, so now we're on my computer, and welcome to worlddata.info. I've got to give a huge amount of respect to worlddata.info. They have compiled all of the list for me. They've done all of the heavy lifting and the hard work and compiled a list that I can literally just browse through and talk about. So thank you very much to worlddata.info. Now let's answer the question that we all want to know. Where in the world can you find the biggest banana? It is Ecuador. Now, specifically, I find Ecuador particularly interesting because if you look at the average height of a man in Ecuador, it's 5.5 foot, but the average banana is nearly 7 inches. And if you look at the percentage of height, I was like, okay, yeah. So Ecuador, you are definitely winning that race, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Now, let's have a look at other countries, specifically around the world. I am supposed to be moving to the great country of Colombia. That is a country that has been on my list to live in for more than a couple of years now, and I'm meant to be moving there, if I'm perfectly honest. Because honestly, Colombian men are, God, yeah. Let me put it this way: Colombian men literally always manage to charm my pants off. That's a great way of putting that. But before I go to Colombia, I may stop off and do some time in Ecuador. And I'm not joking, really not joking. One of my subscribers said the biggest banana he ever saw was attached to or belonged to a Cuban. So they're high up on the list too. So I guess he was 100% correct. For me, the biggest one that I ever saw belonged to an Australian, and his name was Kevin. So God bless you, Kevin. But yeah, I found this a really interesting website to visit because it's definitely going to inform on my next decisions of where I'm going to go on holiday. B, I'm supposed to be moving down to Central and South America, so that's also going to help me navigate that as well. Oh, where should I go? Well, let's go and spend some time in Chile. Let's go spend some time in Argentina. All sounds good to me. So yes, I will be using this as a guide. I will be using this website as a guide. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at. It is my country, but it's like my passport is British. You can tell by my accent. What? Tally ho, a cup of tea, beans on toast. I'm British, but genetically I'm not British. Genetically, the country I'm actually from, genetically speaking, isn't actually on here. I'm like a mash of 4 different countries, and 3 of them are on here, but the main one I guess isn't. So there you go. But the country where my passport comes from, that is here. So yeah, this has been a really, really interesting sort of browse through, and yeah, Spain. I have a specific connection to Spain that I love. How do I put this in a polite way? I've never left a Spaniard's house and not felt satisfied. So there you go. That's a little glimpse into my life. Yeah, so there you go. This is a great website to have a look around if you want to. I might have to spend some time in Costa Rica as well. Okay, cool. Let's move on. This is a great website to have a look around if you I found it really, really interesting. It's like people do fantasy football where, like, hey, I can make my fantasy team and my fantasy team play your fantasy team. This is fantasy banana shopping as far as I'm concerned. This is where am I going to book my next holiday? Let's use this as a template. So, yeah, I found it really, really interesting. So, if you want to check this website out, it is worlddata.info, and they've done a really great job at making sure that they have very, very useful information on here.
Hey there, sorry for interrupting the video just for a second, but I would like to show you something. 78% of the people that view my channel are not subscribed. If you've seen more than one of my videos that you've liked, please hit the subscribe button. It's just a little click for you, and it means the world to me. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and if I could reach it by the end of the year, I'd be so happy. So please, take just a second and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks very much for getting to the end of my video. Popping up on your screen right now are some of my other videos if you'd like to watch a little bit more of the Gay Bear.